Let me invite to the stage Magnus Persson, Executive Vice President, Business Development at Skanska.
Thank you very much. I'm very glad to be here. Yeah, correct. I'm not Mr. Rutschki, no, and I'm not Polish speaking either. I'm from Sweden. Introduction, Magnus Persson, EVP within Skanska Construction here in Poland since October last year. I was here 20 years ago as well. Started my career at Skanska in Poland. And I must say, I'm impressed what has happened with Poland the last 20 years. It's a magnificent change of the society that I meet when I'm here now 20 years later. The cities I see, the infrastructure I travel, it's a big change. So Skanska, this is our footprint in the world. We have a home market strategy focusing on Nordics, 30% of our revenue, rest of Europe, 25% of revenue, Central Europe and UK. And then we have 35% of our revenue in the US. And this is the country where we also have commercial development. Founded back in Sweden in 1887, in the southern part of Sweden, where I originated from as well. So 130 years old. 41,000 employees and a revenue about 150 billion SEK. And our business model is divided into 4 different streams. So we have the main stream that is the construction services business, where we have about 90% of the revenue, where we work with private and public clients and create cash, and that cash is used to develop. For instance, in 3 different development streams. First one, commercial development, that a lot of you have met with CDE and Skanska Property Poland. This, for instance, is a picture of Axis building in Krakow, opening ceremony in a couple of weeks. We invest money in residential development and infrastructure development as well, some PPP projects around the world, hopefully in the future in Poland once again. So, you saw the movie. What is going on around the world? We have a major migration, a lot of millions of people fleeing war and injustice. We have a climate change that is causing natural disasters in different parts of the world. We have, as you heard, a rapid urbanization. Actually, 200,000 people every day move into urban areas globally. But on the positive hand, we have a rapid technology development as well. We grow older. We have a challenge, of course, in a more aging population. And around the world, as average, we have an increased prosperity. We have more and more people coming into the middle class, but globally demanding new things. So where do we at Skanska come into this picture? This is where we say we build for a better society. This is not just words. This is actually our promise. This is our promise to our clients, our promise to the market, our promise to our partners and future employees. This is our promise to the future generations. So you could say that this is our why. This is why we exist. This is our golden circle why, if you look at Simon Sinek's idea. A better society. What is that? For us, a better society needs to be a more sustainable society. In all aspects, when it comes to ecological, economical, and social sustainability, it needs to cover it all. But our journey within sustainability has not started right now. I don't know if you've heard about Hallandsås tunnel. We built a tunnel through Hallandsås in the southern part of Sweden 20 years ago. And that was the biggest environmental accident in Sweden for many, many, many years. Skanska and their partners were responsible of leaking out hazardous substances in the nature while trying to seal the tunnels with chemicals. This was 20 years ago. This was actually when I just started at Skanska. And I have a personal connection because I was born and raised on the top of Hallandsås Ridge. Actually, a stream that was poisoned by Skanska runs through my grandparents' land. So they were not that happy with me joining Skanska back then in that local society. At the same time, I decided that the action that Skanska took, having this as a sense of urgency, understanding the impact that we have on society, on the environment as a construction company, deciding that this is not the right thing, deciding to become a leader within sustainability. Just a few years later, we were the first multinational construction company that were provided the ISO 9000 certificate in all countries. And now we have this as part of our business model to build in a more sustainable way. The construction industry and real estate, we stand for 6 to 8% of the GDP globally. We are the most user of raw materials in the whole world. This is the industry that uses the most raw materials. And at the same time, we stand for up against 40% of the total carbon footprint of the world. So there is a lot of changes that needs to be done in order to have a more sustainable future. And how can we do that? I would say to have a more sustainable future, we need to be more smart. We need to be working in a smarter way when it comes how to use our resources. We need to have a lot more innovations that can help us in innovative technical solutions, but also innovative collaborations, working in partnership, finding solutions that will secure life cycle cost perspective in our projects, that will make sure that we reduce cost, reduce time, reduce uncertainties in our large projects that we need to do with the rapid urbanization. We need a lot of new infrastructure development. We need affordable houses. So we need to use smart new ways in order to cut cost to provide housing for the people that is moving around the world. We need to build with more disaster resilience. We need to make sure that our cities can survive the climate change that we have affected. There we need new technologies as well. And with more people in the cities, we need to build our buildings more flexible. We need to focus more on health issues. We need to focus more on well-being in our buildings. Actually, we spend more and more time every year indoors than we do outdoors. So it's growing our time spent indoors. So we need to build our buildings, our workspaces, our homes in a better way, focusing on well-being for the end user. So we need to build in a smarter way. These are some technologies, innovations that we use right now. We try out robotics, 3D printing. We use augmented reality. We use drones in our projects, laser scanning. Yet, somewhat on pilot stage, but actually, this will be commercialized in a couple of years. This is a big opportunity for the construction industry, for the way that we work, the way that we provide buildings for offices, for instance, office space like you. But these technical solutions, these innovations, that is not the core. The core is what we do with them. The core for a more sustainable future is people. How can we build with a better focus on the end user? Build offices with focus on the end user's well-being. Build homes for the families. And build infrastructure that is easy to access, that is people-friendly. We need to make sure that we are inclusive in the way that we build our buildings, making sure that they are open up for all kinds of people, that they are open for society. We need to have the person, the individual in focus where we develop our products to make them more sustainable. We also need to make sure that we have a safe environment when we build. We need to make sure that not only while construction, that we focus on our people and our partners' people on the construction site with safety, but also that it's safe to travel in the new highways, new railways, new transportation systems that we build. So we need to put the people in center. So as I said, I grew up in Sweden. I've been working there for almost all my life, except those years in Poland in the start of my career. And I came here to Poland 9 months ago to start working for Skanska Poland. Some differences that I've noticed. Sweden is ranked rather high when it comes to innovations. One of the top 3 nations when it comes to innovations in the world. And I think that the key to that has been the openness, the open society. Open up for foreigners coming to Sweden and being introduced to the country, being integrated into the society in the country. But not only that, but the diversity that we have created with that we actually have used and have inclusive leadership in the country, making sure that all that new competence that has come into the country has been used. That has developed our growth, but also developed us as an innovative country as well. And some of the great things I've encountered here is I've met a lot of young and pretty old people as well, but with a spirit of going forward, wanting to change, openness for new innovations. And I think there is a key now to work with, including these new ideas into our businesses, being open to the new ideas in all our businesses that comes from the diversity that is created in a more open society where people travel more. And also, I see an opportunity for more partnerships. I think that is also key. Working together, client and the supplier, different partnerships with consultants and other, but creating strong partnerships where we have win-win relations in the partnership in order to have safe environments for innovations. So I must say, I have a good feeling, as I said, coming back here after 20 years, and I see a great opportunity for Poland. And when I look into the construction industry and the innovation where we have the challenges that we face right now, I see the same recipe. We need to make sure that we involve people throughout the value chain. Client designers, contractors and suppliers. We bring them together when we develop new projects. We use their skills. So we need to have an open mindset to drive these changes. We need to see the new techniques, the new innovations as investments that is done, that we will prosper in the future. But I also think that the country the society can have a good effect of using public procurement to drive innovation. More public procurement focusing on quality, on innovations, on project plans, how to do things for the future, than focusing on lowest cost here and now. Focusing on transferring risks between companies here and now, but more cooperation, more using the procurement, Public Procurement Act as a driver for Poland to be more innovative when it comes to infrastructure and social infrastructure as well, innovations. So talking about the challenges that we have ahead of us, we say we need to build more sustainable, we need to build smarter, and we need to support all businesses that we provide office space for in a good way. We need to future-proof those offices, making sure that we deliver with a, as we say, deep green focus, making sure that we have a sustainable future, but also that we have a deep heart involved, focusing on the end user of the products that we provide. So with that, I would just like to say that it's a promise that we have. We will continue to build for a better society, and looking forward to continue to have you as our partner going forward. Thank you.